Welcome, everyone. This is Saturday Evening Chats, episode number 49. Tonight we are joined by our co host extraordinaire, Mr. DM Foss. Welcome.
What up, yo?
And we have Mr. Wheeled and Well Armed. How's it going?
Going good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you guys are so welcome to be here. So, I figure we got a couple Senate bills here in the state of Oregon that we're not really hearing a hell of a lot about, but these two Senate bills will pretty much do away with being able to protect yourself outside your house. We have Senate. Oh, go ahead, Foss.
Oh no, go ahead.
We have Senate Bill 554 and Senate Bill 585 that are coming up, and I'm going to share on screen an email from OFF, Oregon Firearms Federation, and it says, "Don't be silenced." This came in earlier today. It says, "As you know, the Oregon Senate is hearing two bills next week that will end self-defense rights in Oregon. Senate Bill 554 and Senate Bill 585 are both scheduled for hearings next week. To up the ante on a complete elimination of your rights, Oregon's most rabid anti-gun fanatic, Ginny Burdick, has added an amendment to Senate Bill 554 to include an emergency clause. This is a legislative trick used to guarantee that really bad bills cannot be referred to a vote of the people." So before I go too much further, I'm going to pull up Senate Bill 554. So, because I know you guys probably don't have any clue what these are talking about. So, Senate 554 authorizes city, county, metropolitan service district, port, operating commercial airport, school district, college, or university to adopt ordinance or policy limiting and precluding affirmative defense for possession of firearms in public buildings by concealed handgun licensees. And there's part of this will also make it so that you will become a felon just for where you're standing on a sidewalk.
So, what's the current policy? Are the stuff that they're looking to restrict? Is there any restrictions on those currently, or does that create you can't go to those places?
It will create. So, like, right now, you can, if you have your concealed carry license, you are able to go to an airport with a firearm on you. Now, you cannot get in a TSA line, but you can drive up to the airport, you can drop somebody off, you can pick somebody up, you can get out of your vehicle, you can go inside the airport as long as you're not in a controlled area. Still carrying your firearm. But under this new bill, if you even have a firearm in your vehicle and you happen to get too close to an airport, or you pull up to a terminal, you never even get out of your vehicle, and you just pick somebody up and you drive off, you could become a felon.
Yeah, that's awful.
You know,
When I used to travel to South Africa, there was a big sign inside the terminal that said guns. And when you would go into the airport with your gun if you were about to take a flight, and you could pay for a locker and save it there till you got back from your flight, no matter how long. And then if you were coming to a new city, like if you were flying from Joburg to Durban, at Durban you could rent a gun at Durban without ammo, and so you'd be safe to get out to the parking lot, because a lot of people were being robbed in the airport parking lot. So just a different spin on it.
yep. So we are joined by Mr. Rob D, the New York Outcast. Welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Rob.
So I'm gonna. So the this will say a city, a county, a metropolitan service district organized under ORS Chapter 268, or a port operating a commercial service airport may adopt an ordinance limiting or precluding the use of the affirmative defense description in ORS 166.370 concerning the possession of firearms in public buildings within each entity's respective jurisdiction by persons licensed to carry a concealed handgun under ORS 166.291 and 166.292. A school district, college, or university may adopt a policy limiting or precluding the use of the affirmative defense description in ORS 166.370 concerning the possession of firearms in public buildings within the control of the district, college, or university by persons licensed to carry a concealed handgun under ORS, same two. An entity that adopts an ordinance or policy under this section shall post a sign visible to the public identifying all locations where the affirmative defense described in ORS 166.370 is limited or precluded. As used in this section, public buildings has the meaning given that term in ORS, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I mean, this is the Senate Bill 554 that they're going after. And then 585 would relating to state preempts. I'm just not being able to talk today. Preemption of firearms regulations prescribing an effective date. Repeals statute creating state preemption of local firearm regulation and statutes creating exceptions to preemptions. So, yeah, they'll be able, and this is the 585. The following summary is not prepared by the sponsor of the measure, but it says, so they're going to be voting on a bill that hasn't even completely been written, but it will allow any city, county, uh, any of the jurisdictions to then say, okay, this is no longer you can no longer have firearms anywhere in the city or anywhere in the town or anywhere in the county, and just do away with it. And so you could end up going from one area to another, and if you're not paying attention to every single spot you're in, you're going to become a felon. So,
Do you know if these bills have any support, or?
Oh yeah,
they...
there's so the majority, the Oregon Senate has a super majority.
Shill.
And so as long as any of the conservatives show up when the vote happens, not just the hearings, but when they do actually hold the vote, if any Republican shows up, they'll be able to just pass it. And so the only way we're going to stop these bills is to have the Republicans do like they did before last year and flee the state. So any senator or House representative in the Republican Party needs to just go to Idaho.
What a mess.
So, yes. Rob, how's it going?
It's going. How's it going with you?
Doing great. Just dealing with what's coming down the pipeline in the next couple days. I mean, this goes like Senate Bill 554 hits on the 22nd. So what's that, Monday? They start hearing comments and stuff before they go and vote on it. So yeah, I'm trying to get some people in the state of Oregon to understand we really need to contact everybody and let them know how crap this is. And if by chance you're able to actually, because they give you a way to sign up to be able to testify, and you get 3 minutes. You get 3 minutes to voice your opinion on this, as long as they don't have any technical issues. There was going to be a morning and an evening ability to get your testimony in, but they've done away with the night. So now there's only going to be one single time to voice your opinion. So, I've filled all the stuff out. Hopefully, I get an email saying that I will be one of the people to voice my opinion. Are you still shilling for MyPillow?
No. But since you bring it up, pretty comfortable pillow.
So we've got Jason Stewart, who was out in the crowd first, gun-loving grandpa, Jerry Parker, Makojo, Bernabe Sanchez. Defense Dad. Gun Loving Grandpa. I'm pretty sure I already said him. Foss is out in the crowd. Ozark Yeoman. Patriot in the Dark. Mr. FNH, who I believe had a Instagram picture of a G23. So there you go. He did put a G23 out on the Instagram earlier. So what do you guys got going on? That I hear Washington State may have some good news, hopefully coming down the pipeline here pretty quick.
Which news would that be?
It's part of what's in front of the Washington State Supreme Court, filed from the GOF.
Oh, I didn't know. I actually didn't know there was one in front of the Washington Supreme Court. I've been keeping tabs.
1639.
I've been kind of looking at. There's been a couple other bills that they were been trying to pass, so I've been kind of watching those. They were trying to do a 10-round limit, and then they got a lot of backlash. So I'm not sure the process for Oregon, but for Washington, enough people raised a stink about it where they changed. They wrote a supplemental bill and changed it from 10 rounds to 17 rounds, and mentioned in the hearing that they got a lot of comments and that they had changed it to try and find an acceptable compromise, which there is no acceptable compromise. But so everybody speaking up did make a difference. So at least for our state.
Yeah. So in the past, when you could actually go and testify in person, and they wouldn't be able to, oh, we have a technical issue, the lost connection. There was probably a little better chance of being able to get your voice to and make the people understand with you commenting. But a lot of the Democrats here in the state of Oregon are pretty set in their ways, and they're not going to give a damn. So pretty much the only way we're going to keep any anti-2A bill from going anywhere here in the state of Oregon is to just walk out, to just not show up to work. Hate to say that's how they're going to have to do it for the senators and the representatives, but I'm fine with them not showing up to work. We already know that the dictator will issue arrest warrants for them and turn her SS party to go search for them and threaten to arrest them and force them to be in the Capitol so they can hold their hearings.
Oh, so that's why they have to actually leave the physical state. I gotcha.
Yeah, she will turn her SS soldiers against and order the state patrol to go and arrest and return them to the state capitol and force them into the building. So they need to just go ahead and take a vacation. So we have Andrew Faulkner out in the crowd. Welcome. Hopefully Texas is getting better and starting to warm up, because I'm not sure that any of them understand what winter clothing is. They're starting to learn that they should probably keep a box of some winter clothing.
Yeah, the Texas thing's got to suck. A lot of people down there with no heat and stuff, so it's a shitty deal.
Yeah.
Whether you know, have winter clothing or not, it's still a shitty deal. So, especially thinking medical things,
Exactly.
it's
I mean,
definitely got to be an inconvenience for a whole lot of people. Besides, possible risk of injury and death. Last I heard was a few days ago, there was like 20 people that supposedly died, but who knows? I don't know if that's true or there's, that's a COVID thing or what, but definitely not cool though. Well, it's too cool, negative, you know what I'm saying?
yep. So Andrew says in the 60s today. So that can also bring bad juju, because going from being that cold to being that warm is going to cause flash flooding. Anyone who's
Still
ever
probably
been
good for them.
yeah, I mean, that's
Being without power and being without power while you're freezing your butt off are two different things. So
oh yeah,
at least they got something.
yep. You got to get the warmth. I mean, that'd be so. Patriot in the Dark says, can they just put on Antifa t-shirts and be allowed to not be arrested? Probably not. I mean, they're... Well, what she'll want that is that so the State Patrol will then detain them, or whatever you want to call it. They will put them in the back seat of their squad car, and they will take them to the state capitol, and they will force them inside, because as long as I think it's one Republican is present, or one person of the opposite party is present, they can then hold the vote, and they, with a super majority, they'd be able to pass it. So as long as I think one person is present, they can go ahead and hold the vote. Gun-loving grandpa says that it's 42 where he's at. So
Cold and snowy.
well, 42 is at least above where you're going to get snow. Because what, 37 and above, it can't snow? So
Yeah, I was referring to my area. Cold and snowy.
yeah. But you're in New York. You're used to it this time of year.
Correct. Still don't like it.
I'm pretty sure there's ramifications to that. You could just move to someplace that normally,
I'm working on it.
I'm not going to say that doesn't get snow because it's been proven that places that don't get snow. So usually do not get snow would be my qualifier there. Damn, woman, you got the TV up tonight.
And poking around looking at properties online, not in person yet, but
What area?
making a list. What's that?
What area? Where are you looking at?
There's a few. The lady's got, I think, one marked off in Alabama. I believe Kentucky, Tennessee. So we're trying to basically map it out so we can run a trip. Basically, A, B, C, D, whatever. Go check the local area out, look about employment, actually set eyes on the place, so I can make an assessment. So, but it's still kind of up in the air. So land right now, apparently everybody's looking for it. So the good thing is I'm looking for like cheap shit, like undeveloped wooded lots or something on it with a foundation. I don't even care if it's good or not because that we're intending on building our own house anyway, in a sense. So it really wouldn't matter to me. But obviously, septic well power would be a plus if it's already in place. So, but there's a lot with it, I'm sure. Yeah, everybody probably knows. But so just looking into things, checking things out. So not that we're rich or anything like that. So that's the one advantage is I'm looking for. It seems like places other people don't want, so it works out kind of good.
So, do you have a price in mind, and like how far outside of the city are you willing to be living?
I've got all types of stipulations, as cheap as possible for one, because plan on building myself or whatever. So for two, it's got to be outside of a city with no more than 100 to 120,000 people, preferably at least 20 minutes out of town. It seems cities that size have healthcare, variety of stores. So if I get stuck one small town with one guy where, at the hardware shop where I know he's a dick and ripping everybody off, I actually have a choice. So I don't want to be stuck in a spot like that for state, but, and depending on the location as well, like what the grounds are like, nothing in a bowl, there's strategic purposes to positioning, if I'm buying in. So, but that's a whole nother story too. So,
Patriot in the Dark says, tell Rob he needs to check the codes in each of those locations as well. There's some places you can't dig, blah, 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 but working construction, about pulling permits and stuff like that. So, I would hope that you'd be looking at that kind of stuff in part of your qualifying factors.
Definitely. You have to. And I'm shocked to say in some places it's like they don't require anything. They don't even deal with building codes and stuff. So you still have to follow the state. But as far as like counties and some of these counties I've looked into, they're perfect because doesn't even matter, basically. So granted, it goes county by county, not state, state by state in a sense. There's state and then there's county, but county by county, some counties require a lot more than others, some almost nothing. So we're definitely trying to look into all that type of stuff as well.
Are you looking for
privacy?
Are you looking for acreage? Do you want a lot of land or just enough, or what?
No, yeah, 3 to 5 would be ideal. Could settle with a little less, but 3 to 5 would be ideal. Preferably backed up onto like state land or something, but that's pushing it. So, because again, I don't want to be too close to that because state lands can expand their boundaries pretty easily. So, but somewhere near other large, preferably unowned wooded plots would be great.
So we've got John Brown Productions and Travis T that have jumped in. Welcome, guys. Yeah, I've been thinking that I want like 5 acres, but the more and more I really, really start thinking about what all I want the land for, I'm actually thinking it's probably going to have to be somewhere in the 10 to 15 acres size. So,
no, wanting and maintaining are 2 different things. So, I hope you have good plans.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's definitely plans for what I want to do with the land, because I'm going to have a few goats so I can have goat milk and goat cheese, and gonna have some other livestock. Definitely have my own chickens. And then I'm going to need to be able to have room for a good-sized garden, along with having my own private shooting range. And I want an indoor-outdoor shooting range.
I'd love to have enough land to justify owning a tractor.
Just want a damn tractor. Huh?
Yep.
There you go.
Well, Foss, I'll make you a deal. If I get the 10, 15 acres, I'll let you come down and drive the tractor whenever you want.
I'm in.
It gets old after a while, but definitely better to drive somebody else's. You don't have to pay for the maintenance.
Yep. But if you want to get into the farm life, you're going to have some kind of ability to work on stuff yourself.
Yeah, this last
who
time.
Are you gonna hire?
Oh yeah, exactly. Defense Dad says people really need to overestimate their budgets when they're buying acres or acreage. People underestimate the cost that it takes, small tractor or equipment to maintain, etc. So,
yeah, this last time.
It's like,
go ahead, Rob.
Oh, it's all right. Go ahead, man.
I was just gonna say the last time that we moved, a few years ago, I was looking at large property, and we ended up with just a small piece now, because my wife said, "Hey, if something happens to you, I cannot take care of that much property by myself." So I understood, her point. So we settled on something it's a small town, but it's close enough to everything we want, and it's got enough. It's only like a 16th of an acre, so it's pretty small. But the way our lot is set up, we're not, crowded by everybody else.
I was going to say it's kind of like a house. If you get one too big, you're really just spending extra time and money cleaning and heating stuff that you don't really use too much. So unless you have a plan for it, I'd be careful what you get into. Just in a sense to pay the taxes on, a huge lot just to go out and hunt a few times a year, in a sense, doesn't really seem practical in some cases. I would, suggest that, like on the business side of it, try to get something that can make you money if you're going for bigger lots of land, in my opinion. That either you can, have logged off every once in a while, or do something with lease out to somebody, something just something to help substitute your bills for the unexpected. It's always better to have something bringing you something in than you always putting something out, because we can't predict the future.
Exactly.
But that's just my take.
At least some of the properties that I've looked at, it's either you find something that has like 1 acre of land, or you're finding something that has like 150 acres of land. I'm like, well, damn, I don't need 150 acres. But then, like what Rob was just saying, I started thinking, well, even if I only want, 15 acres, I could fence that off of what I want for me and then lease out the rest of the land to farmers or to ranchers, so that you're bringing money in to help offset your mortgage cost, your electrical cost, and all your other costs that you're going to have to maintain that property.
Just another tip, something I can, point out is don't be afraid of like combined properties, especially if you're looking at a money part of it, in a sense. Like one place I was looking at is 2 lots on about 2 lots, its own road and whatever, has both lots up for sale. And what is it? Combined, I think it's like 4 some odd acres, but they're only looking at like I think it was like $7,000 a lot or something like that. That's like dirt cheap. Yeah. So I mean, obviously that's combined. I could split one of those, still own it, and transfer it off to somebody else, but it doesn't actually affect my title or ownership into my house, because when you separate land, it becomes expensive too. So that's all I'm getting at. So.
So we're joined out in the crowd by Guns and Barbecue. So welcome. So I do know Mr. G Webs is going to be doing a live stream at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. So I'm probably going to wrap this one up a few minutes before then, so that people that want to go over and watch him will definitely have time to get over and watch him. He released a video today. I only wear gun shirts, and the shirt that he had in there was the Tony Simon. Simon Says Train, the 2A for everyone shirt that's in royal blue with the white writing, and I do believe that comes in one size and one size only, 6X. So he does have other of the 2A for E t-shirts that come in different sizes, but I believe the royal blue is a one size only t-shirt. At least I only found one size in it. And so I was wearing my 2A for E t-shirt yesterday, and I went into Costco, and one of the employees there commented on the shirt, and so I told him where he could find the shirts and everything, and he's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna have to go check that out. I guess we lost Wheeled and Well Armed. Andrew says he has one in 2X, so
Maybe they're just sold out of the other sizes
yep,
when you bought yours.
maybe because other people are saying that they have them in different sizes. So, Gun Loving Grandpa says he has an extra large. Wheeled and Well Armed is back, and it auto returned him back to the show. And Patriot says, now that must be fate. I am actually wearing an all original 2A 4E shirt as we sit. So, yes, awesome. So, and then, so the wife and I stopped at Love's Truck Stop to get a Coke when we were out and about yesterday. And one of the employees there, she was all kind of like excited when she saw the Every Second Matters patch on my beanie. And she called over one of her other coworkers and everything. And so I explained to her what the Every Second Matters actually meant. And she's like, oh, that's not what I was thinking. And I should have asked her. I should have said, well, what were you thinking it meant? But I educated her on what Every Second Matters is all about. And then I left the store after having, a good firearm chat. And we've lost Wheeled again.
Yeah, I think he's got kind of touchy internet.
Yeah, it might be hit and miss. What picture? Oh, I know which one he wants me to.
Will's gonna need to buy one less CZ, and he can get a cell tower or something put up for better service where he's at. Well, maybe 2 CZ.
Trying to make this. All I know is I damn well lost some weight,
Looking good.
right? I mean, that is
Yeah, when I saw that earlier, I knew you were having a rough day. So,
yeah.
Sorry, bud.
I guess I won't be mean and show the other picture of Rob in the hot tub.
That's so lame. That's old. You can show it, but that's old. That's been passed around more than, well, let's just say it's been passed around. You gotta come at me with something new, man.
Hey, I don't even make these. They just get sent to me, and so I have to then show them. I mean, that was from one of your best friends there. It sent the hot tub pic. Is your internet not working there, Wheeled? Does it keep dropping you?
I don't know what kind of phone he has or PC. He always seems to have issues like that with the mic on. It's like he doesn't even know what's going on right now.
Are you there, Wield?
Nope.
So, Patriot in the Dark says every 2 matters. Without the ND is a woman's shelter thing in Canada. Did not know that. Is your mic working there? Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
I can barely hear you.
Well, it's like I've
Oh.
got my headphones plugged in, but it's coming through my phone. So I think I'm gonna have to bow out for the night.
I can hear you now. It's working just fine.
But
Yep.
way better now.
Okay. If I start driving, mute me. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, you were out at the range today? Is that what you were saying earlier?
Yeah, I shot a 3 subcompact. I compared the Glock 26 to the Wilson EC X9S to the Rami CZ Rami 2075. So that was a nice shooting some real crappy reloaded ammo, but the Wilson shot everything. I don't know if it's just luck of the draw or just had a better firing pin, but Wilson shot everything.
So we're joined out in the crowd by Miss Vanessa Kitty. Welcome. Yeah, I actually had a pretty good ammo day yesterday. I picked up some 45 Colt, which I haven't been able to find in forever. So I picked up some Hollow Point 45 Colt, and I picked up 100 rounds of 22 WMR.
Yeah, the last 2 weekends I've gone to Cabela's and been able to pick up something. I got 4 boxes of 9mm a couple of weekends ago, and a box of 6.5 Grendel. And then last weekend I got 5 boxes of 22.
So we are joined by Thoughts of an Old Soldier. So he put out a awesome 45 video with his son-in-law today. So that was definitely good to watch. I am still waiting on the lower to show up. That's where I'm at with the AR build. Before I even worry about ordering any other like lower parts kit or upper, anything like that. I'm still waiting to get the lower in.
I'm
And
waiting
upper-
on these.
Go ahead, Wield.
what upper are you gonna go with?
I'm probably going to go with a basic 5.56 16-inch. I haven't decided if I want a 12-inch M-Lock handguard 14-inch or a 15-inch M-Lock handguard. So that's where, and so I'm thinking I'm probably going to go with a 1-in-8 twist.
Will you go with like PSA or what brand are you thinking about with the upper?
Probably Arrow or somebody like that. I'm probably going to stick with somewhere out of the Northwest.
If you can find them, the last few times I've gone on their site, both Arrow and Rainier are out of stock on pretty much everything.
Well, there's a
Yeah, I'm on Rainier's email list, and they have pop up every.
yes.
I would. I know it's kind of pricey, but PSA at Brownells is $680. The last time I looked, I got two of them there at that price and love them. So you get a piston upper, so it's kind of closer to what you used to being a AK guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking gonna probably go with the carbine lines of gas system. I'll go with the so Andrew says go 223 wild, better accuracy and shoots both 5.56 and 223. So I'm definitely gonna have to put some more thoughts, but at least I don't have to really worry too much about the upper right this second because I still have to get the parts kit for the lower, and definitely going with an adjustable stock on there and adjustable buffer tube. So PNW Woods, another man out of the Pacific Northwest, is here. So welcome.
Gonna say, I know I'm upset about some mags I ordered a while ago. It should have been here, but it just clicked to me. I've been upset. Now I guess I'm not as upset. They are actually coming out of Texas. So considering all the crap that just happened in Texas and power outages and everything, I'm sure that probably explains the delay.
Oh yeah, and nothing right now is really shipping out of Texas. I mean, I don't even
It's
think
been there for 2 days or 3 days, still in Texas. It left the facility, but it's still sitting in Texas 2-3 days later.
Yeah. So where I scored my ammo yesterday, they probably had 80 different PMags and different mags for the AR and the AK there, and they were like $10-$13 a piece for 30 rounders.
Are they PMags?
Yeah. Yep, they were some PMags. And I think they had some other stuff in there. This was actually the first time I'd ever been in that store. And yeah, there was no ammo limit. Whatever you wanted to buy, well, just if you had the money, you could buy it.
Wow.
So yeah, he had 22 long rifle. He had the 22 mag. He had only 2 boxes of 45 Colt, but at like $29 a box, I was hesitant on buying more than one box. Considering I don't shoot the Judge that often, so those 20 rounds is going to be very lasting because I can also supplement with 410 shot shell. So I do understand that you're more than willing to take one of my AKs off my hands and swap it for the inferior AR platform, but I think I will take the headache of building it myself. But I do appreciate you looking out for my mental well-being. Having to put together the inferior and often overloved AR platform.
You're just excited about working on something you're not going to need duct tape for? Or?
Oh, it's going to be super glue, duct tape, and baling wire that's going to hold this AR together.
Oh, it's not a Glock. I mean, you can do this one right.
I don't know. I mean, you hate on the Glock so much because of how many accessories there are for it and everything, but yet you love what everyone refers to as the adult Lego because of the same exact, oh, well, I can do all these different things to it to make it different than the way I buy it.
No, it's totally different. And the AR even looks good, unlike the Glock.
We're kind of comparing apples to oranges here.
Or I can't even say it.
But just a heads up, G23, there's like a 60% chance you're going to lose a D10 spring. So assemble it somewhere you can find tiny parts if you drop it.
Oh, I definitely will be doing it in a place that is a very controlled atmosphere.
The first one I did, I lost a spring. I think it was for a takedown pin, and when it shoots out, it reaches warp speed and will disappear. I went over the floor with a magnet. I've got one of those magnet broom things and have never found it.
Well, I will be doing it in a concrete floor. There is no carpet. There is no other kind of flooring. So it will be 100% controlled atmosphere.
Or get yourself a clear, leaf yard waste bag or whatever they sell. And when you're messing with that, put it in a bag and do it. So if it blows off, it's within your reach. You don't even have to bend over.
Well, I'm going to be having a big, gigantic workbench and all that has edges. So
Doesn't matter.
It will keep everything there for me.
That sounds about as good as like hold my beer. Okay.
Oh yeah, hold my beer.
You must have forgot the idea of spring tension and how it springs away from objects.
Yep. Isn't that what clamps are for?
Sure.
Travis T says, building ARs is addictive. By the time you pull the trigger on the first one, you'll be planning the next one. And that's a good looking pizza right there.
Yeah, that's right. The only way to do it. If it don't look good, it probably don't taste good.
I I have a magnet bowl, so all my small parts will go in the magnet bowl, and as I need them, I will then take them out. Just like when you're working on a vehicle, it's smart to have those magnet bowls, and they're dirt cheap to buy. So Travis T says this tool is a must-have. Like I said, I have a coworker that has built a lot of ARs, and he has the tools. So I will probably attempt to borrow a couple of those, because this is probably going to be a one and done.
Well, it's gonna suck if that's the guy that's having an affair with your wife and he rigs it to blow.
Yeah, I just don't see that one happening. Andrew says D-10s are like North Korean ICBMs. They will lift off, and no telling where it will land.
That's the truth. And luckily, some lower parts kits will actually include an extra spring. So when you lose your spring, you have that extra spring.
So I will take that into advice and look at getting a second D10 spring. Maybe. Or I'll just be like, yeah, guess what? I lost the D10 spring. Fuck it, this thing's going in the garbage.
Don't be stubborn. You sound like a damn kid. You got the whole chat out there, everybody telling you it's a pain in the ass, but you're still like, oh, I got it. It's going to be different from me.
Once you get, once you've done it, it's really easy to do. It's just there's a couple little things you have to do that are fiddly, but it's really easy, and it is addictive. 'Cause I've built ones where I've got an extra part. I've got this extra spring. I've got this extra D10. I guess I need an AR for it. So you build another one.
Guns and Barbecue says, yep, they are. That's why I always get my friends to buy ARs, just so I can assemble them for them. Well, that's the thoughts of an old soldiers that always have spares. So, I guess you may have to have spares. So, yes, hopefully sometime in the next 4 months. When I decide to go through and start building. Looking at all the emails.
The parts still exist then.
I can pull up a parts right now and order parts.
That's right now. Wait till the aliens invade.
Well, they're not going to be bringing ARs. They're going to be bringing friggin' probably like EMP rifles and stuff like that. Way better technology than what we have. And they're going to have alien handguns. I mean, come on. Travis,
Definitely recommend get something with a warranty that you're sure is going to have a warranty. Just because there's so many out there that offer them, it's foolish not to, in my opinion.
yeah, but
Hopefully you never need it. But
you could always have companies that offer a warranty, but then don't honor the warranty because you have
like PSA.
You happen to buy it through a third party, but yet their warranty says that they cover third party purchase.
Yeah, strange considering their CEO claims they do. So yeah.
So
In my
Travis,
opinion, if you're going to spend money, you might as well do something decent, buy something decent. That way, if something happens, you can always pass it on. You can get your money back out of it, or you can give it to somebody and they have a decent rifle with a warranty. So,
yeah. Travis says, I've never lost a spring. There's a few detents hiding in my house, but no springs. And Thoughts of an Old Soldier says, never know when something will break. Yeah, that's true. I have a few extra parts for a couple of my firearms, so.
Well, that's the one great thing about AKs is you can, if something breaks, you just fix it with a welder and a grinder.
Mm-hmm. Or a paperclip.
A little JB weld and you're good to go.
I mean, Thoughts of an Old Soldier says, aliens? When? Where? And how many? Need a reason to use my shotgun.
yeah, after last year, you never know what's going to come next. Nothing would surprise me.
Exactly. That's why you plan for the worst and hope for the best. Burnaby Sanchez says, I know exactly when things break. Ask me why I don't play golf anymore. Probably because there's a couple clubs sitting at the bottom of a lake or a pond or wrapped around a tree.
Well, that's not why. I mean, it's all the civil court cases from the injured people. He can't afford to play golf anymore.
He's maxed out his personal liability insurance. See? Even Thoughts of an Old Soldier, even Lee says, AKs are good. Had one in my wall locker on my last tour in Iraq. So there you go, Rob. You need to get you an AK. Once you get out of
A drop rifle doesn't count. Yeah. When you got to get permission to return fire. I know what the AK is all about. That doesn't count. Of course, that's a good rifle for that situation.
AKs are very, very functional, and they don't seem to have as many issues as the AR. So they have almost zero problems feeding Steelcase. They're just made to run. So Andrew says, I highly recommend the LaRue MTB for the trigger. Reminds me I need to order a couple. So the very first one that I build, I am going to go full on mil spec. And I will shoot a couple rounds full on mil spec before I go putting anything before I go changing out anything, because I don't want Rob crying that I didn't give it its fair shake.
Yeah, even within the mil spec,
That's right.
be a little bit of
So we'll
difference
cry.
in how they feel, at least. Because I've got the PSA trigger. I think it's their basic one, and then I built one using M&P 15 lower parts kit, and it was a closeout, and I figured, it's just Smith & Wesson M&P name, so it would be good. And the package was labeled really well, so you could tell exactly what part is what. But the trigger is a little bit gritty, I thought. I was a little bit surprised.
Yeah, so let's see. I'll pull up an email. Why does it keep? Trying to.
Oh, let's get pizza. Good stuff.
Well, that's always a good thing. Try finding emails. I get so many damn ones. The hell's my. Oh
So
well.
how's everybody in the chat doing tonight? Hope you're all doing well. Staying awake.
Cousin Barbecue seems to have your back there, Rob. He says the only person crying will be you. Tears of joy after A great American rifle liberates you from the commie machines.
Yep. Smart man right there.
No, that just sounds like a guy who's never actually had an AK in his hand. That's what it sounds like to me.
Look, it was cool when you had the dreadlocks and, you know, you used to go out and smoke your spliffs and hang out on the block. The AK was cool, man. But yeah, it's time to grow up. You'll be all right. Boy, tough crowd tonight.
It is. What are you gonna do?
Drink a beer.
Or two.
Yeah, along the lines of what Jerry Parker is saying about 556-223, it's going to say if you find it, buy some because it's hard to come by.
Yeah,
Start stocking up.
I have. I picked up 40 rounds of 5.56.
It's barely more than one mag's worth.
Oh,
So where's the party at? Who's partying tonight?
get an M1 30 cal carbine.
Party.
There you go. See, Guns and Barbecue says he's gonna buy an AK.
Yep, where's the party, Foss? Gonna bust you out of the house
No, I'm
at one of them movie nights where you got to figure out where you parked your car. And
parties are way in the past for me. I don't party.
you're the perfect candidate.
Who parties anymore?
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Okay, why am I not?
Well, no offense, but it seems like alcohol would have helped this chat tonight.
It probably would have helped a hell of a lot. Okay. Now that I have found Thoughts of an Old Soldier says, if sleeping is partying, then I'm there.
Yeah, that's the point I'm at. You know, I want to go to bed at a reasonable hour. There's nothing wrong with that.
So you can go with something like this. It comes with lower parts kit plus your upper complete. There's one that has a 1 in 8 twist with a 15-inch M-LOK handguard. All that's sold out. They have just lower kits also. So you can still find parts. You can go.
Andrew Faulkner said he bought something like an AK-9, but it's
9
looks like
millimeter.
it's stuck in transportation.
Go with this here. There's the 223
So,
Wild AR-15 kit, 16-inch Parkerized 1 in 8 twist, 15-inch M-LOK, side charged.
nope. Side charge.
Yeah, just you got to be aware that with the side charging ones, you can only use a side charging bolt. So if you have problems, you have to get another side charging, and then if it turns out just to be a fad, those disappear. You don't get them anymore.
Yeah, just buy an AK if you want a side charger. Cheaper,
But that's just my opinion.
normally.
Go with a 300 Blackout because we know those are fads.
Well, some fads stick around. I mean, look at all the damn block guys.
Yep. There. It should come with what? Everything you need?
Does that come with a lower?
Lower
Or is it-
parts kit and upper.
I don't think
No
it
lower.
includes lower.
They want $700 for that.
Choose your. Let's see what it says. You got a 12-inch M-LOK free floating, slanted end M-LOK free floating, 13.5 M-LOK free floating, and a 15-inch. Tells you the barrel, stripped upper receiver, bolt carrier group, lower parts kit, also mil spec. It comes with all the essentials to get the guts of your lower assembly up and running. All necessary parts are included. So well, we've been joined out in the crowd by Rich White, C4 Defense, A case? Hell no, you friggin' have a sling and you keep it over your shoulder.
I'm gonna cut out, guys. But figure I just let you know.
Oh,
Thanks for having me.
okay. Later.
Have a good night.
All right, talk to you guys later.
I guess not enough action for Rob.
Before the Texas freeze, I was finding ammo regularly at Academy. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people that have academies are able to find ammo, but you have to have an academy shop around you. And over here in the Northwest, we don't have any academies that I know of. Do you know of any academies?
Nope.
So, have you heard anything more if King Inslee is going to take a position with Biden?
I hadn't heard anything.
I figured King Inslee would have been one of the first that was out there trying to get in there.
Oh, I think that's what he really wanted, why he ran for president. Just to get his name out there.
Yeah. I don't know. Seems like the governors of Washington do like to try cutting out for cabinet positions under presidents. I mean, look at Gary Locke.
Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping he would get picked up and then we could have some other crappy fill-in governor for a while, just for someone different.
You never know. Maybe you'd get a good fill-in.
I don't think so, but you never know.
Have you been out looking for ammo lately?
Just like I said, a couple weeks ago, every so often I go down to Cabela's just to see what they have or don't have, and usually it's don't have. And the last couple weekends, they've had at least something to pick up, and it had been bad enough where you couldn't even get PMags.
Wow.
Because that's usually, if I couldn't find ammo, then I'd pick up some PMags just to buy something.
So Andrew says, well, jambalaya is ready, gotta run. So later. I guess I don't know what Guns and Barbecue is talking about. Rich White, give him time. Farm animals are expensive.
Oh, some kind of weird kinky shit going on over there.
Yeah. I don't know. So, when you were doing your show the other night, or was that last Saturday night, Sunday morning?
Yes.
You were talking about some bills that were coming up in Washington State that you were looking at. And so was PNW Woods. You guys were talking about some bills that possibly could get airtime.
Yeah, there's two bills, and I can't think of the numbers on them right now. Um, one was the, like I had mentioned, 10 round mag limit, which they changed to 17 round mag limits, which only help prove that it's an arbitrary number. Because if 10 was so crucial, to start with, and then they changed it to 17, well, why is now 17 crucial when it used to be 10?
Well, so I kind of have two thoughts on that one. One is, like you were saying, the comments from Washingtonians, but what they probably didn't want to truly say was that they already realized that California is going to lose that 10 round mag ban.
Well, that they actually did mention that because, like, I think there were a few people that put that in their comments. That's what I commented was the Ninth Circuit already struck down that California's 10 round, and they mentioned that when they were talking about getting comments.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, pretty soon we should be able to know more on all of that because I know it's still sitting in the ninth.
Yeah, I forget what day there's supposed to be an announcement on that. Because it was going to be, I think, a week or so ago, and then it got pushed forward, something like that. But I can't think off the top of my head what date it's supposed to be.
Yeah, well, I think they're kind of waiting to find out what's going to happen with the bench trial.
Yeah.
In front of Benitez. Is he going to strike down even more anti 2A? Which I don't see him overturning his already ruling on the AWB ban. So I truly don't see him reversing in a bench trial. But I guess you never know.
Yeah, and the other one is to ban open carry at Capitol grounds and during protests, something like that. You can't open carry, but that one is really, what do you do if the protest comes to you and you're open carrying? Does that, instantly make you a criminal? So I don't think that one will go anywhere. The mag one, they've been trying to pass that for years.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's been going on since, I think that's late 90s that they've been attacking the mag limit in the state of Washington.
Yeah, I don't think it'll go anywhere, but, you never know.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems more and more states are trying to, you got a real division that's going on in the United States right now, in the states. So you've got the pro 2A states that are saying, fine, all these anti 2A states are going to start putting more and more gun laws in effect. So we're going to go the exact opposite, and we're going to start like reducing and getting rid of gun laws, which is great. I congratulate those states for going to constitutional carry and getting rid of some of the crap that's out there.
Yeah, and all of this is premised on the lie that there's a epidemic of gun violence, and it's absolutely not true.
Yeah, if they were to actually take time and do research and just pay attention to statistics, ever since they started putting in these no gun zones, gun-free zones and stuff, that's where all your crime is happening. You know, so yeah, and when they started doing away with like mental health, easy access to being able to get mental health and stuff, you start seeing more and more crimes happening because they're able to get mental health help in facilities, like either in jail or in prison, where we're not getting that out there in our regular society. And you started seeing a lot of the push against the mental health after the big Prozac scandal, when a lot of doctors started getting in trouble for handing Prozac out like candy. So I guess there's breaking news out of Louisiana. Armed bystanders take down shooter at Louisiana gun outlet, sheriffs say. This is, I guess, going on right now. The wife got a news alert. New Orleans, 1 hour ago. Armed bystanders halt shooting spree that left 3 dead, including suspect, at Louisiana gun outlet, sheriff. So, including the suspect, the 2 injured down the road from the Louis Armstrong New Orleans International Airport Saturday afternoon, according to the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office. Arriving deputies located several victims suffering from gunshot wounds. The sheriff said in a statement, 3 individuals were pronounced dead on the scene and 2 more were transported to the local hospital for treatment. The 2 transported victims are in stable condition. It happened near a gun shop and shooting range on the 6700 block of Airline Drive in Materia, Louisiana, just west of New Orleans, and armed bystanders helped subdue the gunman, according to the authorities. At this time, it appears a suspect shot 2 victims inside the location, then was engaged and shot outside the location by multiple other individuals. The sheriff's statement continued, the suspect is one of the deceased on scene. It was not immediately clear whether the Good Samaritans were customers, outlet employees, or other individuals. So, there you go. Good guys with a gun stopped a bad guy with a gun. but the spin on this will be more gun control means bad guy with the gun won't have a gun. Well, that's bullshit because the bad guy with the gun doesn't follow the fucking laws. That's the reason why he's a bad guy. Criminals do not follow laws. If criminals followed laws, they wouldn't be criminals. Any thoughts, Foss?
I was just kind of reading another source on that story. Looks like he entered the shop with a loaded gun unholstered, or I guess he's going to the range, and got into an argument with the clerk when the clerk said he shouldn't have loaded it until he was inside. So, I think it kind of points to maybe some mental illness, but
yeah, and again, we won't know all the facts for a few days.
yeah.
Yeah, and maybe you'll never know the facts because if they come to find out that, oh crap, this is all, justified or whatever, or they'll spin it to those good guys were the bad guys in the situation.
Yeah, and that's, and I'm not trying to diminish, the loss of life that happens in these situations, but these become bigger than they are because there's such a lens on each time it happens. Whereas, if you take just go by numbers, you look at all the other things that, that kill more Americans that don't get focused on, so they don't seem like they're as, that they're a big problem, and all the attention is on this one thing, so that becomes, that epidemic that, that they trump up. That's, the anti-gunners have a better PR system, basically.
Well, yeah, they have almost every media outlet that will spin it the way they want it spun. Unfortunately, instead of them being true journalists and trying to find out what the facts are, they only want to focus on agendas.
Well, that's the problem, is they're activists, not journalists.
Exactly. The last 25 years, journalists have gone by the wayside, and it's gone to activism. And so we on social media have to be the activists and the news organization and journalists for our side to get out here and tell our side of the stories. Yes, more people in America are killed by feet and hands than guns. I mean, and car accidents, drunk drivers.
Doctors, it's like I can't remember, it's like the 5th or 7th leading cause of death is malpractice. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember, but it's a fairly high number.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's really hard when we're fighting an uphill battle on all sides. You know, instead of just having one battle to fight, where who your your direct opponent is. Um, anymore, you don't completely know who your direct opponent is. I mean, people that own firearms will still vote their rights away or voluntarily give up their rights for what they perceive as um, a little bit of security. And, you know, it goes back to the old saying, you know, if you're willing to give up freedom, you know,
For security.
yeah, for a momentary bit of security, then you deserve nothing, neither freedom nor security. So we are joined out in the crowd by Warsaw Patriot and Walter Davis. So welcome. Exactly. America is not England.
Yeah, we fought a whole war to not be England.
A couple times.
Well, technically, they kind of kicked our ass the second time, and then we pulled it out in the end. But
Well, you know, we have fought many of battles to have the freedoms that we have. I saw a bumper sticker today that said, I have never met a veteran who fought for socialism. You know, I see we got Christian Grest in here. Welcome, everybody. So, yeah, I don't know. And if people aren't watching Warsaw Patriots video series that he's doing right now, I would definitely advise checking it out because it has a lot of great information. It's the final reports, the presidential final reports series that he's got going on, and definitely should check that out, guys. So, anyone in the chat have anything that any topic that they want to have us talk about, or Foss, do you have any topics that you want to talk about?
not offhand.
Warsaw says, "Did you read my statement that I made?" People who vote their rights away are two things. One, they are manipulated and being used, or two, they are uninformed what country they are in and how special their freedom is. Yeah, you know, absolutely. So, I have actually been, instead of just wearing my Every Second Matters patch on the second of every month, I have been wearing it every day. I'm starting to put more and more 2A gear into what I am wearing so that I can, even if I just get one person who says, hey, what is that? Or, thinks that it stands for something completely different, and you're able to educate them about like what Every Second Matters is, or what 2A 4E is. It can start conversations and turn into a lot more. So sometimes, people say, oh, well, I don't want to wear, or I don't want to have, 2A stuff on my vehicle, or because, it may, cause you to become a target or whatever. But it also helps you to be able to become an advocate and to just be able to reach one person. And you never know that maybe you reach that one person, and that one person reaches 20 people. And then those 20 people end up reaching 300 people. And you never know what you could start by just having that one shirt on. So Christian Gress says, I try to wear subtle. Pro 2A shirts and whatnot for the same reasons. I know, like, I won the Alpha Romeo 1.5 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and it was a t-shirt or any piece of clothing article or whatever, that he had on his Teespring. And I picked out a shirt for the wife that says, thou shalt not infringe on my rights, so that doesn't just stick to, your Second Amendment. It also, involves everybody, your rights. So it can also kick off a conversation that way too. So so Christian Gress says, I have one of the Alpha Romeo 1.5 t-shirts, and I had a guy comment to me, I used to have one of those cars. Well, see, and that's a conversation starter, where you can kick that to, well, this is actually Alfa Romeo 1.5, which stands for AR-15, So Walter says, sides of my truck says, Biden for prison, keep our children safe. I have had quite a few conversations. Oh, hell yeah. So, Warsaw says, here's a question. Do you believe in honor? Question mark. So, now, each person's definition of honor can be completely different, based upon, your upbringing and stuff like that. Now, if you go by the true definition of what's in the dictionary, that's a whole different. So, and then you've got, your like the military has the way they define honor. So, but more, instead of saying like honor, I would say code of conduct. How are you going to act? How are you going to treat people? And are you a man of your word or a woman of your word? If you say you're going to do something, do you do it? And stuff like that. So, thank you, Jerry Parker. I never reach out and say to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. I don't even do that in my videos. I know. So, thank you.
If you don't hit the like and subscribe, you don't love America.
You can hit the thumbs down button just as much as you can hit that thumbs up button. It all helps with the algorithm. So I'm told. But what the hell do I know? So, Foss, how would you define like honor the way he's discussing it?
Well, I missed the discussion, so sorry. I was trying to look something up.
So he said, Warsaw's Patriot says, here's a question. Do you believe in honor?
Oh, I do. I don't know if I can give you a good definition for what I think. Being true to your word. Taking care of your obligations. I think.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Code of conduct. How do you act? How do you treat other people? Do you keep your word? Stuff like that. So I see we have TPC out in the crowd. Welcome to Poor Conservative. So have a great night. Thoughts of an old soldier. He says pain meds are kicking in. So he's heading off to bed. He says honor is key. Thing we're missing today are civil honor. Yeah, So I'm gonna throw the link out one more time. If anyone wants to jump on and talk a little bit, they're more than welcome to. And if not, then we're probably going to bail out of here pretty quick.
Yeah, I think both Warsaw Patriot and the Poor Conservative are right in their definitions of honor.
Yep. Honor is a practice lost among most Americans today. People expect everything without any contribution. They expect being catered to. They lie constantly and backstab others just as often. So, yep. Exactly. So, I'm going to ask you the same question I ask Chris Chang, and see what kind of response I get from you. If you had the power to do away with one anti-2A law, what would it be and why?
Oh. The first thing that comes to mind is the NFA. And that's not, the NFA isn't so much a law, but they're basically making law by making rulings. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely counts. Like I said, I'm going to stick with just like what I said when I was talking with Chris. Is I'm going to go all the way back to 1934, and if we do away with the original anti-2A law, do they ever try to make another anti-2A law? Because without precedent, you wouldn't try going after anything else. So that would definitely be the one I would be going after. So welcome, Warsaw Patriot. How's it going?
How's it going, my friend?
It's going pretty good. So, you have any topics you want to discuss before we bail out of here if we don't get anything?
Just as far as you guys been talking about gun laws and all that, I think there's a major difference between making laws and just being political power hungry.
Well, yeah, and the thing is with being the political power hungry, you have to be able to control your subjects. And that's the way they look at every single one of us. We're not voters, we're not constituents, we're not anything like that. We are subjects to them. We're just a means to a greater opportunity for them.
Basically, we're puppets and manipulators, or we're victims of manipulation. Is what we are.
Yeah, and so they have to have a way of controlling us, and the only way they can control us is to take our firearms.
Not necessarily.
Well,
there's other means besides that. I actually looked up.
Yeah, well, the main one, if they take away the firearms, it's a lot easier for the control without being able to have a pushback.
I get that, but there's your freedom of speech is one of them, as well as your voting right.
Well, the thing is if they start attacking freedom of speech, or they start attacking voter rights, or they start attacking your having the right for like unlawful search and seizure and stuff like that, before they can start attacking any other thing like that and start pushing those agendas. If they don't take out the Second Amendment, then they're going to piss off enough people that then they could end up causing, pushback. So, again, for them to have good control, they would have to take away the firearms.
Well, the firearms and the speech, those are the two big ones. If they can eliminate free speech and firearms, then that gives them so much control.
Well, I'm seeing more issues besides the Second Amendment. I'm seeing indoctrination in our schools too, by the way.
Well, that's how they get people to give stuff up. You have to start with, indoctrination, so this way they're able to get and push agendas and have people agree with what they're saying. I mean, this stuff would never, in no country has it ever just happened overnight.
No, this has been going on for decades, and we've just been allowing it to happen and normalizing it.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is with schools is those boards, and the boards are what's controlling the schools.
Yeah, and so we have Artak and Daughters out in the crowd. We have Keith Gregory. Mario is out there.
Mario, hey man.
Yeah. Mario, Molina is a pretty awesome guy. So, Walter says BRB. So,
yeah. So, hey G23, I was going to ask you, how's their sign holding up?
The sign's doing great. I just need to, because I need to get my shop built so I can move into having my shop and be able to have better lighting system than what I have going on, because I've got 2 amazing signs that I need to be able to start showing off a hell of a lot more than they get shown off.
Hey, show that sign with pride, my friend.
So
I'm working on some crates actually. It's taking a while for these to be built.
Mario says he's blushing over here.
Hey, I'd like to see him come in if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, the link's out there. I mean, anyone that wants to jump on is more than welcome.
I've known Mario since the time of the Crazy Scotsman. Or actually, no, I think that's further than back.
Oh, you're thinking Mario Mosen.
Oh, who's in the chat right now then?
Mario Molina. He came. I met him over on Carolina EDC, and he's out in South Carolina.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the one I'm thinking is the one in California.
Yep. 11 Bravo.
Yep, he's awesome. He's an awesome guy.
Yep. So.
Not to mention he's Army strong, which I support.
Yeah. So. My dad's side of the family was all Army, and when I got to be old enough, I attempted to join the Marine Corps, but because I had screwed up as a teenager, I was not allowed to join the military at all. And my recruiter, his name was Sergeant Bone Crusher. And he told me, I'm sorry to inform you, but you are too violent to join the Marines.
Too violent? Isn't the Marines supposed to be violent?
I said, wait, I'm too violent, but your nickname is Bone Crusher?
How about Devil Dog?
Right? Leatherneck, you know?
No, but back to the subject G23. When I think of honor, I think of a lot of things. I mean, like just doing anything that's normal. Like, hey, that way a job over your duty as a citizen. Like, say if you're a police officer, you do everything that's right instead of what the police department's telling you to do.
Yeah.
Well, not just that, but also how about honor and respect the dead, including those who fought and died for your freedom, so you could actually have that freedom to speak and live your normal life.
And with honoring and respecting the dead, that also goes with their headstones, and their monuments.
Or even if there's a soldier or retired Marine just you passing by, you would actually show them diligence and respect.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, I'm seeing this little civil honor these days now. I really have seen very little of it. I mean, it goes with the Second Amendment. I mean, if you're taking away the Second Amendment right, or you're just chipping it away in whatever state you're in my eyes, I think that's a major disrespect, as well as also to those who actually fought and died for that right. It'd be like dishonoring them, like saying, hey, you know what, they died for nothing. I mean, I'm not a service member, but that's why I see it as.
Yeah. I mean, you're saying that their ultimate sacrifice was
meant for nothing.
Yeah. Had no meaning. I mean, the beliefs that our amazing country that was founded on were complete moronic is what they're going after,
And it just saddens me that people don't realize that.
So Mario says that got 400 rounds of 9mm at Academy Sports for 150 with taxes. They are starting to go up in price for ammo.
I mean, how do you see that, Foss? Do you kind of agree with me on this?
Yeah.
So we have Gizzard Gary out in the crowd. And again, I'll say it one final time. There is a link out in the crowd somewhere. You can join if you so decide. Actually, I'll let you guys talk for a couple minutes, and I'm going to switch over to the YouTube side. I'm going to pin that comment.
So, Patriot, do you have any AK projects you're working on right now?
No, now at the moment. Next month I'll be showing on my main channel. It's got to save some money, dude. Everything in my area right now has been affected by this virus and this other crap that's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to make a living. Hey, you got to pay bills, don't you?
Yeah. So are the boxes you're building, are they going to be full-size ones or the mini ones like you did before?
They're going to be full-size.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're taking a lot more time than because I have very little time these days to be doing this. Excuse me.
So the link is pinned in the comments now. Mario says I'm on my cell phone. It's all right. All you got to do is click the link and you can join in on a cell phone.
G23, what would your thoughts be if we actually did a video on honor?
I think it'd be a great video to do, but again, we're going to run into your definition is completely different than my definition. So you definitely have to add in what the like the Webster definition of honor would be, and
well, it's universal. It's like I called it civil honor.
Well, I think it's fine. Just put what you think it is. Your opinion, because there's probably a lot of people that will agree with you, and if somebody might have a different opinion, then it gives them a different opinion to think about.
Well, and I think, like I said, I think a lot of these people that are out there we're seeing today that don't know what the hell they're doing, I think they're really misinformed. They don't realize how free they are in this country. And I think they've been shellfish and they're just, in their homes and are getting whatever they want.
It goes back to like with parenting, and if your parents weren't raised correctly, and again you're going to say, well, how can you define if my parents were raised correctly or not? If you're not following moral, there's a set of morals that should be kind of universal. You shouldn't be out in the public throwing a temper tantrum, crying if you don't get what you want. I mean, that's kind of, you learn that when you're 5 or 6 years old. But a lot of parents just cave and buy their kid whatever they're whining and crying about because they don't want to listen to it. Back in the day, and I'm not even that old. I mean, I'm 40 years old, so I am old to some people.
For me, growing up, I actually just worked for my stuff. I don't complain. I actually just started working a job and making a living and make whatever money I can make to actually get what I want.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're a young kid, you're say 5 to 10 years old in that age group.
You're spoiled.
If I would have started to whine or cry about what I want, I'd either get sent to the car, or your parents say, you know what, we're gone, we're leaving. I was raised by a single parent, just my mom.
That's
and yeah, there's been times that hey, guess what? We're out of here. We're leaving the store. So
I wonder what Gizzard thinks on this.
Right? My mother would give me a look and game over. And there's times where you get the look in public, but you also knew that look meant when we get home, I'm going to whip your damn ass.
Back in that time period, it was legal.
Yeah, that, and sometimes, you'd got it spanked right there in the middle of the damn store.
And the reason why he did it, it's not because they hated you. It was just to discipline your kids and know what's right from wrong.
Yes, unfortunately, Defense Dad, you can't really do much anymore as a parent without the fear of being arrested. I mean, if you discipline your child, you just swat them on the butt and you send them to their room, you could end up being charged. If you actually, in some states, if you take away their cell phone or their computer, then you can be charged.
That is stupid.
Because
what is that, California?
No, there's a lot of states out there. So even if you buy something and then you give your kid, a cell phone, a tablet, a computer, anything, and then as a discipline, you take that away, that is considered theft. Because you gave them that object, and by you taking it away as a discipline, even if you're going to return it at a later date, or even a couple hours, as discipline, you are stealing that object according to certain state laws.
Somebody messed up a law right there.
Yep.
No, I say.
And some states if you take somebody's cell phone, even if you bought it, even if it's under your contract, if you take their cell phone, you can actually be charged with interfering with the ability to report a crime, which can fall under the domestic violence. So now you lose your gun rights.
I'm sorry.
Because you're
stupid.
welcome, Gizzard.
Why? It wouldn't have been such nonsense back in my day. It would have just been put to an end real quick.
Hell yeah, your parents would have whooped your ass right there in public and then made you apologize to the crowd for
There wouldn't have been anything taken away from me because, for one thing, I didn't have jack squat when I was a kid. I got a quarter a week allowance, by God.
and you had to earn that.
That's right.
Yeah.
I had to take my clothes into the hamper. I had to pick up my stuff in my room, straighten up my bed, and everything else.
Yep.
And help out around the kitchen and everything else. But
I was
that's
gonna say,
just
you
the way it was.
You probably had to do the dishes at least 2 days a week and take the garbage out.
I had to help with the dishes. Let's put it that way. I had to help clear the table. If somebody needed help, drying or something, I might dry. I probably wasn't coordinated enough to actually get up there and wash, but they could hand them to me and I could dry the dishes. So. But yeah, I had jobs, and but yeah, I wouldn't have sassed my parents. I knew what would happen to me if I sassed my parents out in public. That wouldn't happen for one thing. But if I asked for something, and they'd probably look at me and say, "Well, I guess you better save your allowance, huh?"
Back in the old days, when I was in school, I actually have to warrant. If I wanted something back in the old days, I actually would have to get a good decent grades.
Now, when I got old enough to be junior high or high school, if I really needed something for school, or something like that, Dad would give me money for it and stuff. And then, when I got old enough to do stuff, Dad would occasionally give me some money, but it wasn't just beg for something, because in the first place, I've been working since I was 14. I mean, as soon as I was out of 8th grade, I worked for my uncle during the summer out on the farm, and I drove tractors and everything else. So I had money. I worked for it.
And you know what that builds also?
What's that?
2 things: references and your resume.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that how major of a factor that is.
Plus, you realize things don't come for free when you go out and work 10 hours a day and work for it, and then you realize, oh wow, I got money in the bank now.
It also builds character.
Yep.
That's what I was going to say.
Hell, you could also make a good friendship. A lot of jobs actually become family too.
So, yep.
Yeah, but back to the topic of honor. Gizzard, do you agree about civil honor?
What was the question again?
Honor, like civil honor. I'm talking about like as far as doing what's right, honoring your oath of the Constitution, honoring and respecting the dead, especially those who fought and died for your freedom.
Yeah, I think it all goes together.
And also honor our Constitution.
Yep.
Because a lot of people don't realize how free they are.
My dad was a World War II veteran. By golly, when the national anthem played, you took your hat off and you faced the flag, and it was a big deal to him. So,
well, dude, I have the past history of when I was in my school. You know what I did? I deeply regret one day.
What's that?
I had the damn nerve to go in and I said, you know what? I'm not going to even say the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm just going to sit my ass in the desk. And next, what happens? The teacher looks at me and says, "Hey, get your ass outside right now." And she wasn't cussing at me, but she's like, "What the are you doing, kid? You're not going to say the pledge and stand up?" And it's like, "No, I'm done with this crap." And let me tell you, she shamed the hell out of me, dude.
Yeah, I don't think anybody ever questioned it. Of course, I'm a little bit older than you guys, or a lot older in some cases. So, but yeah, we all stood up for the Pledge of Allegiance. That was just something you did. I mean, we were proud to be Americans, and
even that's been kind of dwindling. I don't see any money schools do that anymore, do they?
I don't think they do much.
They don't even say the pledge.
I think some private and like religious schools might still do it, but I don't think any public schools do.
When I was in public school, that's what we used to do all the time.
Every morning to start off class, you put your hand over your heart and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hell, when I was in public school, we actually remembered the time period of 9/11. I mean, that was a major factor too. It affected all of us.
I still remember when I was in Cub Scouts and you had to say the pledge. Do my best to do my duty to God and my country. To be square and to obey the law of the pack. I still remember that.
And I think people need to start opening their eyes on this, because this is what's been affecting our country. Just the key thing is civil honor. I mean, if I was out with some people, like, say, that are, against, my opinion on things and how I respect and honor the country, I would actually take them out to a memorial and say, hey, what do you see in front of you? I see some men that fought and died for this country, and you're telling them that they fought for nothing. If they were in their shoes, would you want to be any different?
I still remember when I was young. I'm young enough to remember I grew up, the Vietnam War was still going on.
Oh, my God, dude.
And
Okay, so
go ahead.
one, it wasn't a war. It was never classified a war. It was reclassified under Clinton to become a war so that the veterans would get the benefits that they deserved and be able to receive the health care and mental health that they deserved. My dad was a Vietnam veteran, and he would have argued that all the way to the day he passed away. It was never a war. It was just reclassified so that they could get the benefits that they so justly deserved.
Yeah, the Vietnam War was another example. Is like when they were spitting on their soldiers when they came back home. That pissed me off. I knew about that.
So go ahead, Gizzard. Oh, he had to answer a phone. What were you going to say, Foss?
Yes, technically it was a conflict, but it was a war.
Well, if people want to say, well, yes, it was a war, then you would have to say that we've lost a war, which we've truly never lost. We lost the conflict that we were not allowed to fight properly.
Well, and we promised the Southern Vietnamese freedom, and we just backed out.
We also did that in Desert Storm. We told the Iraqis, stand up and fight, and we'll come in and help you. And when they stood up and started to fight, we sat our ass in Kuwait and allowed them to be slaughtered. Allowed the Kurds to be slaughtered.
What's another example? The Soviet-Afghan War. That's another example.
So we have SS Pawn out in the crowd. Welcome. What's going on, Moo? SS Pawn out in the crowd. Welcome.
Hello, G23 and fine gentlemen.
Yo.
I didn't mean to segregate you there, G23.
I guess you have the audio playing in the background.
How you doing, Mo?
Doing well. Just got done eating some ribs with my daughter came home from college this weekend, so she wanted some ribs, so I cooked her up some ribs tonight. So,
Is she actually going to school, or is it online crap?
Yeah, it's. I think she has one online class, but the rest of them, her other 3 are in-person classes. So that's pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, what have you guys been talking about? What did I miss?
We're talking about civil honor and how it's majorly affecting our country, and we need it back.
I think when I clicked on, I was hearing Gary talking about the Boy Scout motto. Man, that brought back some memories. On my honor, I'll do my best, do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times. Might be something I missed in there. I'm not sure.
I was never a Cub Scout.
Neither was I.
I was a Boy Scout and a Cub Scout.
So Mario is out there talking about the getting a sandal thrown at you. It's in the Spanish culture. It will fix a lot of issues. Yes. Okay, so I'm American. You know, I'm white, everything. But a lot of my friends and stuff are of Spanish descent.
Of
And-
non-white.
And even when I was at their house, if you messed up, it didn't matter if you weren't their biological kid. You were going to get your ass whooped no matter what. You were going to get a damn shoe thrown at you. And you could think you were being funny, you know, trying to hide behind something. But those moms could make those sandals do things that you would never believe. They would friggin' go flying around the TV, bend like 3 corners, and still smack you upside the head.
That was a cool bit that Eddie Murphy used to do too. Talking about mom throwing the shoe at you.
You know, there's another one that's worse. How about the belt?
Oh, the belt.
Or even worse was a spoon.
Wooden spoons, spatulas, and
My mom, you know, spanked me with wooden spoons, and I swear she was keeping that company in business because they would break across my butt all the time, and I would just start laughing. And that was not the right thing to do because you would just get spanked even more with more wooden spoons, and they'd keep breaking, and you'd keep laughing. So when I was a kid and I was in Louisiana, my grandma spanked me with a wooden spoon and it broke. So I laughed. So she grabbed a double-handed cutting board
Oh, crap.
and went and gave me a swat with that. Well, it just so happened that it broke also. And I started laughing my ass off. I mean, yeah. Okay, this is a southern woman from Louisiana. Now she has 2 weapons in her hands. Right? Because that single cutting board became 2 cutting boards. Yeah, I got spanked with both of them.
We ever remember the time where we had school systems even allowed to spank our kids? You know, the Catholic schools.
Yeah, no, they aren't allowed to spank kids anymore.
Well, I think it did majorly impact our kids. You know,
Oh yeah.
told them what from right from wrong.
So Mario says, if you ever come back to South Carolina, there will be no more Bilo grocery stores. We shutting them all down for good. I'll be looking for a job in 2 months. That sucks. What I am going to say is, as long as this pandemic, scandemic is going on, write it. You know, take that extra $600 a week. make sure you have taxes taken out, because you will be paying taxes on that. Even though they say it's free money, it's not. Your ass will get taxed on it. The socialism payments that we received last year, pretty much everyone in the state of Oregon that works now owes the state of Oregon money because that it was taxable income. So,
Yeah, movie's still there. Ooh.
What's that?
I was asking if you're still there.
Oh yeah, my wife was needing my reading glasses so she could read the. She just tested the water in the hot tub. Want to know what it said?
I had a question. So, what's your thoughts on honor, civil honor in this country? You think we definitely need it back?
I gotta turn up my volume. Did you say honor in this country?
Civil honor, yeah, it's doing what's right, upholding the law, upholding the Constitution, upholding your oath.
Oh,
Honoring and respecting those who fought and died for your country.
yeah, I have very low confidence in that. What are your thoughts?
I think it needs to be reminded. A lot of people that aren't really realizing what country they're in should be reminded of that.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know how far we got down this rabbit hole that we forgot about, what a great place it is and could be.
Well, like I said, I think just don't realize what country they're in. I mean, unless they go to a foreign country and they come back here and realize,
Oh, that's the epitome of the grass is greener, right?
Right.
I'll just move to Canada or
Art,
whatever.
They're 5 times worse than we are. They're on full lockdown.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, go ahead.
And not to mention, I forgot, I believe Canada is still under order and control of England by the Queen.
Oh, is that a fact?
It is, believe it or not. Even though they're a separate nation, they're still under British rule.
well, so is
Australia.
Australia.
New Zealand.
Yep, and like Wales, Scotland, Ireland, any of the just because they're I think there's still even parts of like South Africa that falls under British rule.
Yeah,
but still, same thing.
And
You think it's better? Go ahead.
They have no constitutional rights up there, by the way. They don't even have property rights up there. So if you don't like America and you want to find a lesser of another free war nation, go right ahead.
Hey, it's like oh crap. He was Herschel Walker said, if you don't like America, let me know. I'm willing to pay to send you to a country of my choice that has all the socialism that you want.
Yeah, we got communist China.
Oops.
I mean, if you like socialism, working for $2 an hour, no, wait, is it? It's no $2 a day in China. That's on the workforce they're going to make every 80 hours a day.
I'm just saying, if people want socialism so much, just let me know. I'll send you to North Korea. One-way plane ticket. You ain't coming back. I'll fly you to North Korea.
Or China.
Let you speak out against the government one time.
Prime example. You have no freedom for that.
So, I do know G-Webs is going to be doing a live stream that he was planning on doing yesterday, but it didn't happen. So,
Yeah. What happened? We were kind of monitoring that, and
he fell asleep,
Oh, right on. Can't blame him for that.
right? So it's going to happen at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 Eastern. So I'm probably going to shut down somewhere around 6:30 Pacific, so 9:30 Eastern, so people can go hang out with G-Webs if they so choose. I think
Oh, you said he just got back from the rally.
he says
Arizona rally. Yep.
so. If the link is still the same, I will jump in on his chat. Hopefully, I don't have a problem crashing other people's chats.
You want to hear the funny thing, J23?
Go for it.
You see all the freaking people that are wanting socialism? Well, look in freaking Russia. Right now, they're actually still protesting against Putin because they want him out of office after being in there for 20 long years. And Putin actually just poisoned his rival that's actually going against him in the election. And they tried poisoning him. Now that he got him arrested. I mean, if you want a country that's so corrupt and totalitarian, the Russian Federation is a prime example. Man, the people are literally are protesting out in the public, and they're freezing their asses off, and they don't give a crap if they go to jail or not, or freeze their asses off. They're willing to actually sacrifice their freedom just to speak out.
Well, look at what happened under Fidel Castro
No, Fidel Castro.
in Cuba. How many people fled Cuba? How many people put their lives on the line fleeing?
Then you got Venezuela had the same boat. But I just find it funny. Our nation is wanting something that we aren't fully telling them that this is not a good idea, and now we got other countries that are actually wanting freedom, like places like Hong Kong and Russia.
So a lot of people on the opposite political party are not completely understanding why Florida flipped so massively in this last election and everything. Well, when they were talking about all this socialism and socialistic ideology, you could hear the Venezuelan people, you could hear the Guatemalan people, you could hear the Cubans all yelling out, "You don't want this." We fled from our homeland to get away from this. We are not going to let this happen in our new country.
I've been seeing videos of Russians, Poles, former Yugoslav people. I've met people from Romania. What else? Lithuanians, Bulgarians, Hungarians, Czech Republicans, Slovenians, Estonians, Latvians. These are former people that were in former communist Soviet Union, and they're telling them that this is not a good idea.
Well, Walter does have a good point, but at least Putin is for Russia.
I wouldn't say that. He's not for Russia.
As screwed up as he is, our crooks don't give a damn about America. Yeah, they have no problem trying to change it. No problem.
I hate to say it to you, Putin is a tyrant. He's just as bad as any freaking bad politician out there.
Oh yeah, he's not great. He's not great or anything, but at least he's still trying to keep Russia. He's not trying to screw it up and turn it into something that it's not always been.
I mean, if I was an American reporter in his country and I spoke out against him, probably he would have to send a hit squad at me.
Well, yeah, but that's the same today as it was 30 years ago, 40 years ago. You know, it's like North Korea. If you're a reporter and you speak out against the government, you disappear. You know, it's the same today as it was 100 years ago. You know, you speak out against the government in Venezuela, it's the same thing. You know, you
That I don't really agree with.
disappear.
That I don't really agree with. I mean, you probably get questioned, but I don't think you disappear.
Well, not any. Well, now that there's been some changes, but yeah, there's times where it goes under, and yeah, you will just disappear. So Walter says he is a tyrant, but he does things that benefit Russia. Biden, in 3 weeks, has just done nothing but hurt America. Exactly.
Yeah, but no, that I agree with. But Putin's been there for 20 long years, and he even got President Medvedev to be his puppet, and that's how he got back in power. So tell me he's not power hungry? You think wrong again, man.
Burnaby says Cancun is pretty nice. There's lots of places down in Mexico that are very nice to visit, but
Full of
you know,
cartels,
huh?
they're full of cartels though in that area.
Well, there's cartels everywhere in Mexico.
Well, in Cancun, there's actually been reported 4 people died that were American that were down there because of cartels.
Oh, yeah, but if you step on the wrong toes, you know.
No, they were in the actual residence of Cancun. You know, the tourists area?
Mhm.
They still got attacked.
Well, yeah, it happens, especially when cartels are warring. People, innocents, get caught up in that.
Yeah,
One cartel wants to take over another cartel's area. Pretty much, they're just going to start, doing whatever has to be done.
Yeah, I don't trust Mexico.
So, 38 Super Partisan is out in the crowd. Welcome. Mr. Knives is out there. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of good places down in. Go down into Rosalia.
Back in the old days, you go over and meet, be in a place in Tijuana.
Yeah, there are lots of places in Tijuana there's lots of places in Tijuana that you don't want to go. And even if you live there, you just know you don't want to go into the certain areas. Go into, Ensenada, down into Oaxaca. Like any of your moles, that all comes from Oaxaca. So like a lot of your like salsa verde, and stuff. There's a lot of people that think that mole is just a chocolate sauce that goes over certain things, but that's just one form of mole. So, and again,
but all in the panel, I'll agree that people need to be reminded about civil honor and doing what's right.
Yeah, I mean, we do need to get America back on the correct footing where we are, a lot kinder to everybody. We're more helpful to everybody, not just, but again, you have to contribute and not just expect and want to take.
Well, I mean, you can't change people, but if you give them that mindset of thinking, oh, you know what, maybe he was right, that type of thinking. Let them think, that's all it takes for them to do. Just let them think about it.
Mr. Knives, what's going on?
Chocolate.
Hey, Mr. Knives.
And he's gone. He just had
In,
to
in and out, in and out.
That's right. He definitely had to get that chocolate in there.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. Just had a good for you coming. You know, when I hear people, it was echoing.
Who's got his live stream playing in the background?
Oh, whoa. All right, is he good now?
Yep.
All right. No, but it's just like, literally, I just think if you not change people, but just make them think about what they're doing, they might realize what they actually are doing and realize how great a country they are being in. Because honestly, I'd say I wouldn't call it a privilege, but I would say it's a heartfelt, I wouldn't call it honor either, but it's like opportunity. You have a great opportunity to be in this great nation.
What are people picking on me for?
You're echoing.
Echo.
Hey, give him a break. He's probably drunk.
Am I echoing?
Not now.
No, the live stream was playing in the background, and so like when Warsaw went to say something, all of a sudden you'd hear Warsaw coming out of your mic.
Oh, I was. I had it playing when I first logged on, but it's not now. I must just be lucky, I guess.
Right?
I gotta head out, guys, but I just, in all agreement, you think we could actually try to make people think about things?
I do think we, bringing in more conversation would help.
And it's not about guns; it's about, just being Americans. Doing the right thing.
And respecting people's choices as Americans. We may not have the same agreement, especially like we could talk abortions or whatever you want to, but at the end of the day, you can't control what somebody else does, but you can advise, and talk,
Another thing too is about protesting. I mean, you have that right, and in other countries you don't have that. Our soldiers also did fight and die for that.
Yes, we have the right to protest. We do not have the right to ransack, pillage, rape, murder, or set fire.
Or
Yep.
Yeah, because nobody does that around here.
Not at all. The one thing great about Portland being snowed in and Seattle being snowed in, you at least had a couple-week vacation from riots and protests because there was no one out there wanting to do anything.
Why? Because they're freezing their asses off?
Yep.
Especially when, like, you get snow and ice, they don't want to be trying to, set a fire and,
Did I
fall
tell
on their ass.
Did you see what I was telling you about the Russian people protesting in sub-zero cold weather?
Yes, but there's too many on the other side that are pansies that wouldn't get out there.
No, but I'm just saying, like, it's kind of funny to think that, though. Anyway, guys, it's good talking with you. I gotta head out.
All right. Later.
Have a
You
good
want to
night,
promote
bud.
your channel before you get out of here?
Ever say that again?
You want to promote your channel before you get out of here?
All right, guys, check out my main channel. I'll be probably doing a review the next coming month. Second channel, Warsaw Patriot Woodworks. I'll be probably doing some more wood projects, and I'll be doing a couple more videos on those. So yeah, guys, I'll see you on the next one. G23, thanks for having me on, man.
You're welcome, and be safe. Can't wait to see some more videos.
Yep. Anyway, guys, stay warm.
Have a good night.
So I see New York is out in the crowd. So
He said he was kind of back.
yeah, he's just gonna hang out in the crowd.
Is that like he's bringing sexy back?
I think he's gonna attempt.
Yeah, well, knowing him, he already brought it, cooked it, cleaned it, took it to bed.
So is Mr. Gizzard back, or is he still on phone call?
Yeah, it looks like he's still talking to his granddaughter.
So when are we going to be seeing some videos out of you there, Mr. Moo? Since
You're breaking up there.
I bet roboting like hell, huh?
I aspire to do some content. I'm not really sure. It's not in the forefront of my hobbies, but I do want to. I just got to get off my lazy ass and do one.
I know. I can't wait to see your interpretation of scope setups.
Oh, that would be a good one.
And hey, you don't even have to get off your ass for that.
Yeah, I'd have to be at my range.
No, you can do benchtop, like setting it up and stuff like that. You don't have to do the actual shooting.
Bovine's Corner.
Yeah, just talk scopes, and what kind of scope you use, what kind of do you have it set up for like a 25-yard zero, a 37-yard zero, a 100-yard zero? Why do you choose your zeroing that you have it set up for?
Oh, right on.
Is it a hunting purpose? Is it
Yeah.
a defensive purpose?
Yeah, that would make a big difference for sure. Yeah, especially being here in Michigan. I mean, my farthest hunting shot is probably less than 150 yards. So I've always sighted in my deer rifles at about a half inch high at 100 yards. The longest shot that I've ever made with a firearm was with my 12 gauge slug gun, was 89 yards. All my other shots have been within that.
Defense.
So thick where I hunt. So
Defense Dad says Moo will tease a scope video, and it will be a benchtop review of mouthwash.
I prefer the Listerine, those little film those squares.
So we do have Mr. Mario Mosen out in the crowd.
Mario.
11 Bravo Grunt out in the crowd.
The Battle Bee himself.
That's right. So, Defense Dad says, I prefer rum, but that's just me.
Oh, you know what? I'm lying. I did. I took it was a 110-yard shot with my 30-30 with a straight up 4-power scope. That was when I was with my dad. That was pretty cool. But anyway, all the other ones have been way closer.
You got to come out and do some coyote hunting.
I would love that.
Get out and do some coyote.
And Andrew Faulkner has been trying to get me to come down to his ranch and shoot up some swine.
Well, see, that's a win-win because you can get free bacon.
I says, "Hey, how do we clean them and stuff?" He goes, "Yeah, we don't clean them down here."
Yeah, you leave them for the coyotes, so that's why you can shoot the coyotes and get the coyote pelt.
It's like automatic bait pile. Yeah, they're so destructive down there. I mean, they're knocking down fences, knocking over mailboxes, driving through backyards. That's a man act. That was a Smokey and the Bandit reference, in case you were wondering. Got to broaden the car.
So Mario says, longest shot 2,890 meters on a BMP with a Sabo round.
Thank God you said Sabo. I was going to give you shit.
What, you were thinking I was going to say, like, Sabbath?
Yeah. I was waiting. Yeah.
I may have been born at night, but it sure the hell wasn't last night.
Day before yesterday. Yeah, my buddy used to have.
Rob says that there's plenty of junkies down his way.
And they're not very fat. You don't have to lead them very much, though, do you? I mean,
most of them try probably dancing in place.
They probably walk like zombies, though, so they like juke you at the last second. Like a Matrix move or something.
Do that pretend fall because they're heroined out.
Then they take 12 rounds in the chest like that crazy guy in video. What was it earlier this week? Did you guys see that where the cop shot the guy?
I heard about it.
12 times in the chest, and he kept coming right at him with like a big grin on his face. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, wasn't that the dude with the big stick?
Yeah. He hit the cop over he blocked it with his forearm and broke the stick over, and he still kept coming at him with the rest of his stick. And he tasered him, and that didn't work. And then he just emptied his magazine into his chest, and he fell at his feet, basically. That's nuts, man. That was like zombie stuff right there. If you see the video, you'll understand.
Defense Dad's got it right. It would be the tweakers. They would be the hardest to hit. They're erratic,
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah, because they walk like all janky and stuff.
No, the tweakers, they're all bouncing around. They're all, hopped up and got so damn much energy. You wouldn't know if they're going left or right. So,
Like shooting at a moth.
Exactly.
but the tweaker's downfall is yell out, "Oh, you dropped a rock," or "You dropped a shard."
Easiest way to catch a tweaker is a large box of small things, and they'll spend hours digging through that little box, looking at all the little small things.
Look at all the marbles.
Just put a toothbrush on a linoleum floor.
Or you could just glue like a quarter to the ground or something.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yep.
what did I miss? You guys are in a completely different place.
Hey, Gary's back.
Hey, when you run off to talk on the phone, we've probably been through 13 different conversations by then.
My granddaughter decided to call me. And 35 minutes on the phone. Oh my God, that little girl can talk.
Well, if your granddaughter calls you, you got to ditch.
That's right.
These jackholes,
I mean, she's a big girl. She's 8 and has her own phone.
Yeah, we were having a little dance party upstairs with my daughter. She's almost 19. We had Alexa turned up to volume 10, and me, her, and her mom were busting a move. Let me tell you that.
Too bad you weren't recording that. That would have been good.
I've got a 9-second video of my wife, and she goes, "Are you recording me?" I'm like, "No." I'll send that to you next chat.
So Walter says the toothbrush is like a crucifix to a vampire.
For a tweaker, yeah. Ozzy Osbourne's out there, bark at the moon.
Yes, sir. And Defense Dad says they'd have body armor made of stolen copper pipe.
Oh wow.
And that's not stolen, by the way. That's reallocated for a separate purpose.
Yeah, repurposed copper pipe. Yeah.
It's borrowed with the intent of not returning.
Right. I was just borrowing it. Even though your basement's flooded now. And
Usually it's, yeah, this other guy said I could have it.
yeah. Yeah. This dude, Steve, down the block said I could have it.
Probably didn't just take the piping, probably took all the wiring out of the house too.
Mhm.
Melted that down.
There's a guy I was talking to that bought a house in Olympia, Washington, and he was fixing it up and had some squatters that were squatting in the place, and it's really hard to get rid of squatters. Once they move in, then they just have to make up a fake lease agreement, and then you have to go to court and to prove that it's a fake lease agreement and all this stuff. Well, he went through all the process, and just before he was able to get the sheriff to go, they left and they ripped out all the copper piping and all the wiring. Took it with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wasn't that sweet of them?
Yep. Happens quite often.
Yeah, at construction sites and stuff.
I was a process server in the state of Washington, and I served many of eviction notices. So, Mr. Gizzard, you going to be doing your live stream in the morning?
Yes, sir.
Early bird.
Early bird. 10 a.m. Eastern.
Bird is the word.
9 a.m. Central.
7 a.m. Pacific, the only time zone that matters.
To goofy people.
There's two of us goofy people on the panel.
Man.
Or are you saying we're outnumbered? No. Moo and I are both Central, aren't we?
I'm Eastern.
You're Eastern now. You're one of those. Okay.
I'm one of those.
See? So technically, yeah, you guys are outnumbered. It's
And-
2-1.
And
I'm
we
in
still,
Central. That's right in the middle. That's
and we still do that whole time change thing.
Yeah. See, we call those central people fence riders. You don't know which way you want to be. Are you Eastern or are you Pacific?
we ain't either one.
That's right.
I'm-
We're in the heartland, man.
And I'm like right on the edge. I mean,
Living on the edge.
living on the edge.
The
Little
only town
Aerosmith.
named after an ocean. Ah,
Exactly.
Where roll call's at, I think he's on Central. In, near Michigan
yeah,
City.
depending on where he's at in Indiana, but yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's like the line goes right next to me, right down through Indiana there.
Defense Dad says, I'm central. The world revolves around me.
That's right.
That's because of all your gravity.
Oh.
You fat.
Oh. I'm not even going there. Nope.
I'm fatter. Maybe we could have a fat contest. I think I'd win.
Wouldn't bet on that.
He says,
You'd win. You'd win both ways: F fat and pH fat.
Yeah, he's cooler than me.
Defense Dad says, I'm also an asshole.
Apparently, so am I.
I've heard that.
I haven't been called that in like a half an hour. Yeah. Like my wife called me that a half hour ago.
I think
That's
Artac.
a little pet name for you, man.
I know.
Artac, last week he walked in, first thing he was called a son of a bitch, and a few minutes later he was called an asshole. It wasn't directed at him, but it just happened to be that those were the times that he was.
It's meant in a loving way, though. You know, it's endearing.
Is that what you tell yourself?
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
So, you guys got anything you want to plug before we bail out of here?
Watch my show tomorrow. Be in it. Be there. Or be square.
So,
I'd just like to say, check out G23's Patreon page. You can help support his channel.
yeah, I probably should add that too.
Yeah,
My
check out
stuff.
G23, DM Faust, and Little Giz with Gary. Go support those guys. They got content. I don't. Get
So,
what you pay for here.
Mr. Foss, have you created a Patreon account?
No, and I probably won't.
Well, I see how you are.
Damn straight. Don't forget it, buddy.
I can say that Mr. Guns and Barbecue was the first person to be a Patreon, and without ever knowing that, because I had never said anything about it, I had it created and just left out there, and somehow he stumbled across it. So
I still remember my first patron, and I went for the longest time only having one.
I went 24 hours with only having one, and then I have two.
I didn't think I'd ever have any. I just turned it on just for the heck of it, just to see. And it took a while before I had any, and because I don't really press on it, I don't.
Yeah.
I love people who join, but I'm not going to beg for it. I'd make the content even if I didn't have patrons. I don't do it for money.
Yeah.
But it does help you do some things, for sure.
It definitely helps with real ammo cost and stuff like that,
Oh,
but-
yeah.
And your giveaway. You guys are very generous on your giveaways, too. So
Like, yeah, I haven't even added Patreon to my Facebook or my YouTube channel at all. I haven't put it in any of the descriptions or anything. And I'm still kind of torn on if I want to do that. So it's just sitting out there doing,
You
just
should.
being there.
You should do it. Go ahead and put it in your description. You're not forcing anyone to join. If somebody wants to, they have the option.
Yeah. But then I feel obligated that I actually have to post stuff over there. I probably should, before I release videos, put it over so the Patreons can watch it first. I kind of am abusive towards my Patreons. I mean, they get no benefit.
It's a one-way relationship.
Yeah, there's a poll over there that no one has answered. So
Hint, hint, hint.
I didn't get a notice of it. I think I
the
sent it.
poll was created before I had a single Patreon. I
Who was going to answer this poll if you didn't have anything?
I created the Patreon account. I created the poll, and I just left it there. And then all of a sudden, I got a notice that Guns and Barbecue became a Patreon, and then somebody else became one, Mr. DM Foss. And yeah, neither one of them have answered the poll question.
Answering your own poll doesn't count.
I just wanted a piece of the action.
So when G23 gets to be rich and famous, and you can say, I was there on the ground level when this thing started.
Weren't we talking about polls on Gizzard Gary's chat yesterday?
Yeah, but it's a little bit different story, as I recall.
Yeah, I was listening to the replay, and I just got to that part when I started up the chat.
We had to explain to you that just because a woman dances around a pole doesn't mean she's Polish.
So
High chances, though. Chances are high.
So Ozzy says G23 has a dancing pole. Yeah. And Defense Dad says G23 and a pole. I didn't need that visual.
Now I'm visualizing.
I
and,
hope to visualize now.
and Moo is happy. So welcome, Artak. This conversation has gone way out of control.
Yeah, it looks like I came in at the wrong time.
Oh, that's nothing, man. Come on.
I was going to say, I've seen far worse than this.
Oh, we've had some far worse chats over here than this. Rob says, I've got pics of it.
Wow.
$5 a picture. Framed.
A picture's worth a
Did it come signed?
Not in his own handwriting.
It would be.
So is it $5? He'll send you a picture. $10, and he won't send it.
You're onto something now.
I think Sandhills tried something like that. It was $5 and I'll send or $10 and I'll send the picture. $50 and I won't.
Pay the 50. Pay the 50.
Yeah, well, he didn't like my comment. I said that I would return the favor, and not to return the favor would cost him $100.
Yeah, that might change things a little.
I think you might be onto something.
It's fine. You can try to blackmail me. I guarantee you. You know, angry pictures can appear on screens. Ask Moo.
Looked very angry that night, my friend.
It only looked angry.
Our text, like, I have no clue what you guys are talking about.
Neither do we.
Text me your cell phone number. I'll send it to you, Artek.
No.
Negative.
No,
no,
no.
No,
Don't do it.
no, you don't want it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
That's a negative, and the pattern is full.
You know, I can find it. I should have saved that in a folder.
I'm pretty sure you can ask Midnight. He'll send it back to you.
Oh, he's probably got a full-blown poster on his wall.
Oh,
It's all in that black light stuff, you know, all velvety.
Is Elvis next to him?
so Artak, just so you have a little background of what's happening is, so Moo and I were on a panel with Carolina EDC, and he had put the link out in the crowd so people could join, and some random person joined the panel, and so I was on my cell phone, so I was trying to read the comments, so I didn't get to see anything, and he decided to show his appendage, and I guess it was angry as hell and looking right at Moo.
Yeah, on the way the panel was, the grid was set up, it was looking right at me.
That's hilarious.
There's screenshots of that going around. I tell
Oh
you.
yeah,
That's funny.
it was pretty funny. And EDC, man, he was fast on the trigger, man. He got that thing off there in just like 2 seconds, but not before I took a screenshot. I was watching on my iPad that night, and you just go click. If it was on my PC, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it. I did look at it right in the eye. I think Outcast has seen it.
Yeah, he says Moo looked it in the eye. So
Yeah, it was just funny the way the grid was and everybody's picture, or I think everybody was live that, had their cameras on and stuff.
no, I don't think mine was on.
Mine was. And so was the appendage guy.
Oh, so
It was
that's,
fun.
that's twice something like that has happened to you on a panel.
I know, with Black Cat. And
Black Cat took his pants off.
well, it could have been by the number of gray hair density in the
Gray
image.
hair density.
Amber.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't there for that, but I've heard quite a bit.
I don't have a screenshot of that.
Yeah, I've seen the screenshot of that.
I have not seen the screenshot of that. I do not want to see the screenshot
Well, the
of
video,
either one of them.
the video of the Amber one with Black Cats was because it just kind of drops in from the top. Oh,
Movements just bring that out in people.
I must. Just putting it out there in the universe or something. I don't know.
There's something about that face that says, I want to see stuff.
Yeah, look at my avatar. I think it's all self-explanatory.
It does explain a lot.
Andrew says, wait, Black Cat wears pants? Apparently not, according to Moo.
Or could do this one.
Yes, the
Snobby Winehouse.
That's just scary stuff right there.
Giddy up.
I've met Snob a few times, but he's never dressed like that when I saw him.
He's slacking. He just does that on the weekends.
I don't know. I think the best one of those pictures of Snobby and Gizzard and I think Obi and C4 Defense had to have been the Village People.
Oh, Foss made that up.
That was good.
I still have a copy of this.
So, Defense says, half the time I'm not wearing pants in my videos. Just saying.
Oh God.
I prefer shorts. So he says.
In the summertime, I'll be the first one to tell you when I get home, I change into shorts.
I wear a short. I haven't worn pants 3.5 years. Shorts.
I'd have to turn my furnace up higher to get away with that right now.
Even when we hit Snowmageddon here, and there was 18 inches of snow, and we lost power for, I don't know, I think 30 hours. I was still wearing shorts.
Wow.
I'm more of a fan of the pajama pants.
So
You know, I never owned any of those up until about a week ago. Those are comfortable.
Yep.
when I lived in Washington in the winter of 96, there was so much damn snow in when actually it was one of the record-setting snow years, and I would go out and about in shorts and a thermal flannel shirt and then sandals. I don't know why I was wearing a thermal flannel shirt, but it was there.
Was it the gun snob was saying the other night that his son was trying to leave the house and he had on a pair of shorts and is below freezing there. And Snob told him, he said, "Don't you think you ought to wear pants? It's cold out there." He says, "It's not that bad." He said he went outside and then he went back in the house. He said it wasn't 5 minutes later he had a pair of jeans on. But yeah, the kids nowadays, that's all they wear. You gotta darn near pay them to put on pants.
M&P guys wear dresses, though.
Well, that's true.
Yes, M&P guys do wear dresses.
That's a negative there, Dark Carter.
Outcast.
Now,
Outcast.
it's a comment directed to Mr. Rob D.
Outcast.
Yeah. He says G23 equals pants racist. And then he says, "Yep, he sounds like a Glock guy to me."
All your better guys are Glock guys.
I'm pretty sure I could probably give a couple minutes and I'll have a different picture of Rob D in a dress. I'm pretty sure Foss is working on that right now.
You know, knowing Rob D, I bet you he's been in plenty of dresses. Not wearing them either.
Oh, he was wearing them.
On his head.
Wow.
Hey,
like
hey, $20 is $20, right?
It's like the joke that's a nice dress. It'd look great crumpled up on the floor.
That's right.
Did you see what Defense Dad said out there?
Yes, CZ guys wear skinny jeans and have high-pitched voices.
Say, baby.
Wow. There's
I didn't know Scotsman wore skinny jeans.
Oh, I bet you he does.
He's a skinny guy.
He's a skinny. I know. He
The
has
jeans
to.
he has are going to be skinny jeans.
Oh, well, thank you, 38 Super.
Half the panel on Snot is Porky Pig, and must be you guys.
I'm wearing shorts.
I'm wearing shorts.
I'm wearing Christmas fleece pajama bottoms that are covered in the poop emoji.
Covered in poo. What?
Yep. Two live poo. Not covered. You know.
Tasteful streaks.
They were white when he bought them. That's a bad thing.
That's how I know which ones are clean or not when I put them on in the morning.
I thought you had to make sure that the yellow stain goes in the front and the brown stain goes in the back.
That is key.
In Kona pants.
I was responding to Simon says train. Tony Simon.
Why? What's he doing?
He commented, thanks for me buying his shirt. His 2A for E shirt.
I don't have that. I got one of his patches.
I have his packs too.
That's what she said.
I've actually met Tony. He's a good guy.
Yeah, well, you can go and get his shirt. It's $10 for a royal blue and white letter. It says 2A for, 2A for E, and then diversityshoots.com, and gun control equals racism, and it's $10.
That wouldn't be a bad shirt to have either. That starts some good conversations.
It did. It started a conversation in the middle of Costco with a Costco employee at the customer service counter when I was getting my Costco rewards cash from my credit card. So, and I told him where he could find the shirt so that he could go order himself one also. So, well, let's start wrapping this up because G-Webs is going to be going live here in a half hour.
Well, that's true.
Fiend Dog just says Fiend Dog just showed up. So, Moo, say your closing plugs. Plug your channel. Tell us on Tuesday you're going to have a new video out.
I recommend nobody search my name out, and that's all I got.
Well, thanks for jumping on the panel, buddy.
Thanks, G23.
Mr. Artak and daughter. I know Miss Veronica, your daughter will definitely be putting out, 2 videos this week?
One. It's Mondays is Magazine Monday, and she does those. And then Thursday is another Trigger Time Thursday. And I got a new series. We're gonna do some Glock MOSs. So I'll start those. Just uploading everything now. So we got a whole bunch of videos coming out.
You gonna do the Gen 5 G23 MOS?
Yeah, that doesn't exist yet. There.
It's out. It's ready. It's.
No, we don't have it. No, we get. You know how it is with the gun, with crazy it is right now. Whatever we get.
Trying to. Go ahead.
We only have 140 pistol in the whole shop right now, and it's a M&P Gen 1 for some reason. All the rest of the 40s are gone. We can still get 9mm ammo from a local source, so that's good. But I do Tuesday. I'll drop in the MOS 43X. So it'll come out Tuesday. It has a review. Yeah, I'm definitely impressed with it. I like the 43 anyway, so the 43X. Now I'm a fan of it since they went ahead and put a rail on the front of it and MOS'd it. So
Hell yeah. So, doesn't she do all your shorts and everything also, besides just your mags?
no, she does all the giveaways. She does the mag thing right now, and the Trigger Time Thursday shorts is what I'm doing. So no, that's the only thing she's got going right now. Is like when we do our giveaways and magazine Mondays.
Well,
She's a teenage girl, so I can get her to do that much, then I'm ahead of the game as a father.
right? Hey, the fact that she's out there, even promoting 2A is pretty amazing. So,
Oh yeah, she hammers them at school about it all the time.
hell yeah. So, Mr. Gizzard Gary, you got any plugs you want to throw out there?
Tomorrow morning is the early bird chat. I think we've mentioned that before. 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. It goes for 4 hours. It's an open panel. Love to have everybody there. And always Friday nights, check out Foul Territory at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. 2-hour discussion. We give away stuff. We do some viewer submitted Gorn gun and gear pictures and other stuff. So come have fun with us either way. And thanks for the invite.
You are welcome. So, when can we be expecting the next produced video from you?
Oh, you're going to put me on the spot, aren't you? Well, I need to get busy and do some. I think I'm going to do some knife videos. I've got enough new knives around here. Just brought 3 home. Well, I brought 2 home and then had 1 in the mail tonight. So
I like this hobby.
Cockfighting with Gizzard Gary.
Oh,
nah, that's more up Moo's line.
He rubber bands those knives to his ankles and goes to town.
Yeah, I got 2 little tiny knives and 1 great big one today.
Nice. Show them off tomorrow.
You betcha.
so, Mr. Foss, what do you got going on?
Well, I'm actually going to do a plug this time. I've started doing a live chat just once a month at the god awful hour, 1 a.m. on the second Sunday mornings of the month. I just kind of, because of my schedule and the way things are, that's about all I can do right now. But still kind of learning. So it's a little babbly, a little rough, but it's usually Mr. Robert Reynolds, and hopefully PNW Woods can keep joining.
That was pretty interesting, you guys, the live stream last Sunday morning.
Well, thank you. We'll see if I can keep it up.
Well, I'm still waiting. StreamYard says that pretty soon they are going to be redoing and releasing a co-host ability. So
neat.
So you'll be able to either assign somebody, or I'm not sure if they're going to have it where there's you give them a separate login, or if it's just something in the settings where you can then assign somebody to be the co-host so they can control pretty much everything there is of the live streaming, except being able to start and stop the live stream.
Oh, kind of like WebEx.
Kinda. So yeah, they'll be able to do screen shares and highlight comments out in the crowd and stuff like that. Yeah, so
That's cool.
That is really cool.
So if anybody happens to be up check it out. I only go for an hour. So if you catch it in replay, it's only an hour of your time. It's for the children.
Yeah. Didn't your last one go a little over an hour?
Like hour, 6 minutes.
That's how it starts. I was planning on keeping mine at 2 hours, and then it became 2 hours and 5 minutes, 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Well, I want to keep them at an hour just because it's at a time where most people aren't going to watch it. That way, it's if somebody wants to catch it in the replay, it's an hour. They can listen while doing stuff, and not a marathon.
Yeah, and if you ever decide, with it being at like an hour or around that, you'd be able to extract just the audio and turn it into a podcast.
Yeah, we're not there yet. That's maybe someday. I don't know. We'll see. But so there have been links I've put earlier for everybody that's been in the chat. Check them out. And anybody that's been out in the side chat, check out their channel, or better yet, start making videos yourself. You never know who wants to hear what you have to say, Moo.
So yeah, I'm going to plug a few channels that are out there. Manny Faces. He's a small channel. He's starting out and putting out some pretty good content. Wiley Gun 1776. He's right around 150, 200 subs. And he's putting out some pretty good content. Of course, you got Artak and Daughters, who was on the panel, but he does quite a few videos and definitely puts out some pretty darn good content, a lot more produced content. So I definitely want to promote him. And Ruguru's channel, my God, is he taken off? He's almost 400 subs now.
Yeah.
And and I think I joined there when he had like less than 10 subs.
He does good stuff too.
Oh, hell yeah, he does. And we got Mr. CB out in the crowd, who's another fellow Oregonian. He's just a lot luckier of an Oregonian because he lives on the Oregon coast next to the ocean. So, got Mr. Carolina EDC Reviews, who puts out some good content, and I believe he's a little over 3,000 subscribers now. So, I am signing out of here so that we have a few minutes before G-Webs. So, thank everyone for jumping in here, and catch you next Saturday.
Bye-bye.
Bird.